Today I'm gonna be showing off my Bloodstitch Dex build. I just went NG on this one. Finished the whole game, DLC as well. Currently, pretty much have a maxed out, well, almost maxed out build, Bloodstitch. Let me show you the stats here. So, we have 40 Vitality, 40 Endurance, 40 Skill, and 40 Bloodstitch. We have minimum requirements for Strength and Arcane for the stuff that we want to carry. Basically based upon Dex and Bloodstitch. So, the thought behind this build was basically, I wanted to go ahead and instead of making one build for Dex and one build for Bloodstitch, I wanted to combine both because there's also many weapons that are hybrid. But I didn't want to have to switch characters in between time to be able to use a Dex weapon. So there's a reason why I combine both, and I have a lot of weapons, not maxed out, but pretty leveled up for my purposes. Some of them are on my storages, some of them are on me. I only carry certain weapons that I prefer as far as the play style and the way they swing, recovery time and stamina, stuff like that. And we're going to get to that in just a second here, but we're just going to quickly go over my attire. I got Maria's hat on, as well as the Cane Heart's armor. So, being a Bloodstitch, that she is Bloodstitch Dex, I figure the Cane Heart's garb or armor, would fit her better. I like how the Hunter gloves look because they're gold as far as the bracelets with the straps. So it looks cool, I think, with the Cane Heart's armor. Put the Cane Heart's leggings. To me, these are one of the cooler looking leggings, just because I feel like you look like Samus. If any of you folks have played Samus on 64, you know what I'm talking about. But that's why I like these leggings. Maria's hat, just because this is a female character, I wanted to show off her red hair, her red, glasses with gold frames. She's extremely Cane-Hearts, so that's a very cool build. I gotta say, now we're gonna go over the weapons, and some of the ones I have here is, for example, let's go over one of the maxed out ones, which is Simon's Blade. Extremely versatile. It gets a S on both Bloodstitch and Dex, so that's the reason why I chose to max out that weapon specifically. So we're gonna go over the moveset real quick. We're just gonna pack it. So this is Simon's Blade. Very cool weapon. It's a sword. You can do swings. You can do a charge R2, roll and swipe. It hits very heavy. And then if you can go ahead and switch it with L1 and transform it, it becomes a bow. I want to be using blood bullets just because I'm a Bloodstitch build. So you're doing about 300 with the R1, which is a quick one. Sorry guys, that's a fully charged R2. You're doing about 513 with a fully charged one, So that's just about a gauge so you know how strong the bow is. So you can, the reason why I like that weapon is because you can go ahead and use Simon Blade to combo, and then back up and shoot. That's about a finisher, So if somebody tries to roll out on you, that's a great way to catch them. And for some reason you don't kill them with the bow, you can keep on shooting with the R1 and, just go ahead and bow them down. So that's one of the things that I like about that. Now we're going to switch to another maxed out weapon that I have, which is Beast Hunter C. So this is from the DLC. It's a trick weapon. Second blade is front and side. It's a very simple weapon, yet it's very convenient for me just because of the fact that it's extremely quick on the swipes once it's transformed into a saw. The sword hits very heavy, but it's also very slow. So you gotta keep that in mind because each swing is gonna take you a while to swing. So if you miss, you're open for a very long time. However, when you are a saw, this is extremely quick. You can L1 somebody to death with this, literally. You can stagger somebody, not because of how strong it is, but just how quick it swings. So a lot of times you also want to incorporate in your fighting in case somebody rolls out of it, because this has extremely short range because it's very short and chody. So you will go L1, L1, R1, and back up, you know. You can shoot that way. Or if you see somebody getting rolled out, you can go R1, 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 L1, you know, and then go like that. So that's a good thing too. So switch it up, you know, make it in there, mix it up. So this is a extremely powerful weapon just because of the fact that how quick it swings, and everybody knows when they play Bloodborne how key, or any soul game actually, how key it is to swing quickly in small spaces. So in Bloodborne there isn't really much things that stagger more than 1 or 2 hits. This has the potential of staggering 3 times. If you get caught sleeping or too angry, you can really get punished by this weapon. Okay, moving on. We got the Rakuyo. One of the greatest weapons, I believe, Dex. By the way, I apologize, I didn't go over the scaling here. The scaling is actually here an A. So that's a great scaling for Dex. So that's one of the reasons why I maxed it all the way to 10. I felt like I needed to have 1 Dex weapon, and I felt like that was a very OP weapon for a Dex build, so I went ahead and helped myself with that. Okay, so now moving on. We're moving on to the Rakuyo. This is Maria's weapon. Hunter wielded Lady Maria. This is a dexterity weapon. No blasting is really used on here. There's no requirement with blasting. 10 strength, 20 dex, gets an A. I'm extremely sure it gets an S once it's maxed out, so I can't wait for that. People love this weapon because of the versatility and the way you can combine the combos here. The R2 spin is an extremely deadly combo. If you get somebody caught up on that, they're pretty much gonna get hit at least 2 times. You want to roll out on the 3rd time, obviously, and no weapon, you know, unless the guy is really stupid and just staying and trying to swing, you're gonna kill him. Otherwise, you know, you can do the R1. This L1 here is for a poke. So when you transition into it's still a blade, but it's got a like a backstab with the knife on the back, as you guys can see. The knife now, it's on the back of that sword. So if you L1, he'll slash and hit with the back of the sword. That staggers extremely. So you can definitely hack somebody like this. So you can troll somebody with the R1s and introduce yourself like that. In case they try to roll out or try to like split, I found that this combination of R1, 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 and then opening the weapon in their face is extremely good for, like, you know, 1,000, 100,000 combos. So that's something you want to do. Maybe back up, getting your stamina back, throw some R2s, you know, L2s combined on that. So just I like the way this swings. I like how quick it is. The versatility on how much you can switch is very nice. Okay, I know I'm taking quite a while, but I want to make sure that I go over each one of my weapons so you guys know exactly what the options are for this type of build. Alright, moving on. We're going to go on to the rifle spear. So, this is one of the earlier weapons you get in the game. It's truly a good weapon. The only problem I don't like is on PvE it is not as effective. This swing, I mean, the pokes are good, but as on any Souls game that I've played, I'm not really a fan of poking or spears at all. But I can say this about this particular spear. The R2 charge fully on it was gold on this. This thing can one-shot things, almost, you know, basically. And the fact that you can shoot with R2, so that's extremely versatile as well, because you can go ahead and repause somebody and put him on repause, and then you can just go ahead and grab him with R1, and then you know, basically go berserk on them. This spear can also slide like a sword, which is very good, because the swings on this spear particularly are nice because they're not predictable, and they swing all types of ways if you keep swinging R1. So you're going up and down, back up, left, right. So for somebody to dodge, it's just hard if they're trying to trade with you. But just keep in mind, the R1s here are not giving you hyper armor. So if the opponent has a chance to hit you, which is probably after the second hit, it might hurt quite a bit. So you gotta remember, you go R1, R1, shoot the motherfucker because he's gonna try to do something, and that's when you grab. Um, the fully charged R2 on this is delicious as well. But I gotta say, just spears overall are hard to play with on PvE. I'm sorry, on PvP. PvE is okay. You can go ahead and get a lot through the game with those. But PvP is going to be a little harder. But you're just going to be a little more precise. But this is an extremely good weapon. The versatility on it of being able to shoot from there and getting somebody reposted and always keeping somebody on their toes with that gives you the advantage in some fights. But if you're fighting an expert player, this is not really going to bother him because they're going to be shooting, moving, and basically keeping your toes as well. So it just depends what type of fighter you're dealing with. Now we're going to go over two weapons that I'm trying to level up. The Warrior Blade. Okay, so this is what you get from German, you know. It's a scythe and a sword. It looks extremely cool, as you can see. On the back, you got the scythe folded in half. And basically, the sword that are the blades of the side are attached to my hand right now as a sword. And the attachment there clamps on. You see these two hooks right there, they clamp onto the sword. Those two hooks right there, they clamp onto the sword. The leg opens up and it becomes a long scythe. This weapon is good because it has deceiving range. It's probably one of the rangiest weapons that I've messed in the game with. It's only level 3 because you're about to see my storage where I have a bunch of other weapons that you haven't seen. So if you think this video is over, it's not. Okay, so let's see. So with this sword, you know, it's a good swiping mode. You get decent range. The stamina requirement for the swipes R1s are good. The R2 is decent with the speed. Got wide range on that, so with the hard R2. What you really want to take advantage of is the combination of going R1, L1, and then swiping a full like that. This is the scythe mode. So once you're in scythe mode, I'm going to go over the most obvious move that why people love getting this weapon. R2 fully charged. If you're looking for maximum output as well as splash damage or killing basically anything that's in front of you as far as a 180, this is it, gentlemen. That can go ahead and swipe a great group amount of people, and it hits extremely hard to the point where most opponents are going to just drop back and fall back. It's kind of like having the axe charge fully. It will go ahead and send them back down, and they'll have to go ahead and wake up, and you can go ahead and get another couple hits as they're waking up. It's extremely quick with the swipes. Just be careful because I know that this also has deceiving range, but it's also easy to miss. Keep in mind, this is a scythe, so you're dealing with a blade that's skinny. So you gotta make sure you hit with the tip. That's one thing you gotta keep in mind. Aside from that, this weapon is amazing. The versatility of being able to switch to a sword with the scythe, as far as the swing is what people like as well. So I have it as a scythe, right? So I swing at you, and I combine that into a swipe because the fully scythe just hits you and I have a sword now. So now we can go small in case, you know, I feel like you're about to dodge or do something like that. Okay, moving on. Now we got the church pick. You get this from Undead Pile of Corpse after you killed. You have to kill Ludwig. You gotta kill, and you gotta get the brain fluid for Adela, and she gives you the key. Then you can open up the cells at Underground Corpse Pit, and you get to get down with Church Pick Hunter. He's a church hunter. He's believed wearing the black church hunter attire with the ghoul head thing. Anyways, I didn't really mess with this weapon too much until I actually had a little bit of a struggle fighting him with the dex build for some reason. So I really like the way it moved. It's extremely fast with the R1s. This can really go ahead and do some damage if your opponent does not know that this can swing that quickly. The versatility on having be able to go ahead and make it a pick as well is extremely nice because it's a long pick and this thing has range. What I like to do with opponents that are really dumb and want to trade with me I go from having it into a pick or a spear, I guess, onto a pick like this. So you go R1 and you go L1, and then when you go L1 again, you poke down, and then you swipe, and then you poke down. So these are all staggering moves right there. So I'm slapping you extremely hard, and then I'm fucking staggering you into the ground. Those are great moves incorporated, especially with the gun that we're about to talk about in just a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and mess with that later on. I'm gonna go ahead and show you my two main guns that I use with this build. I use the Evelyn. It gets the S and Bloodstinch. It requires 18 Bloodstinch, 11 Dex, 9 Dexterity. This is a Kanehurst Knight pistol. This was named apparently after a beautiful Kanehurst knight or woman who was named Evelyn. This weapon is extremely strong. Riposte potential is good. It is not as good as a splash damage pistol as far as riposting, but it does really good damage. You know, you're doing about 198, 200, you know, a shot. So this is hitting pretty hard, and it's only level 8. So now we're gonna go over my secondary weapon that I use all the time. This is gonna be Ludwig's rifle. So a weapon used by the church, Ludwig's executioners specifically. This weapon is nice. There you go. So it's slow, but it's got extremely long range. It takes a little bit to reload, but this has extremely good amount of riposte, especially with blood bullets and a Bloodstitch build. So this is extremely good for me, especially since I can combine, for example, this weapon that has no reason to be built like that can go ahead and have combinations extremely crazy like that. So those are very good for me. And then we have another weapon that I'm curious to use that I will be using soon. This is the piercing rifle. It's got extremely long range, so you can see how far it goes, you know. It's level 3 right now. The main reason why I want to use that is because look that goes from the back. That's the only reason why. I don't even know if it's worth it, but I just like how cool it looks on the back. So I can't have this if it's super low level, so I gotta level it up so I can have it on my back like that. I don't mind having the Evelyn on my back either, you know, it's cool. The Evelyn looks cool on my left too. But I believe that this just looks way cooler, you know, like that. That's awesome. So yeah. I also have the repeating pistol. This one shoots 2 bullets. This one hits actually pretty hard. It might be hitting harder than the Evelyn at this point, I believe. But me being a Bloodstitch build, 2 bullets is a lot to me because I'm shooting a lot. Because that's one of my strengths. So I don't use it too much. I find it inefficient at times compared to the Ludwig's rifle, just because I can have the versatility where this can riposte somebody and this can really hurt on PvE, you know, any kind of other character that you want. But giants, anything like that, or even just hunters can get just really punished with Ludwig's rifle. Be advised. Okay, now we're gonna go in the closet. I'm gonna take you guys back here, okay? So, alright. We have a couple of things here, you know what I mean? So, we're gonna bring out everything that we're gonna use as a dex, basically. We're gonna bring back everyone, huh? Yeah. None of you guys, right? Okay, cool. Okay, so we only have a couple more weapons to go over that I actually like. So, hey, what about these bad boys, huh? The Blades of Mercy. These were extremely impressive to me. If, you know, Maria's sword didn't exist, because they stagger more, I think Maria's swords are stronger. But I believe these weapons have extreme potential if you know how to use them. The spamming on it is extremely crazy. but people can get out of it after the third, fourth hit. So just be advised of that. Because they're blades, you're not inflicted as much damage, but you're doing a lot of stacking damage. You know what I mean? The range is the only problem with these weapons. This is why Maria's is like a bigger version. Basically, they're giving you a sword on the left and the same left sword on the right, and then you combine them both. So it's a more versatile weapon with that. To be honest with you, I prefer if you're gonna go with anything that's gonna be quick, it has to stagger people. I would prefer the Beast Hunter Scythe, just because of how much more stronger it is as far as staggering power is. But this is a good quick weapon. This is more about dodging, and like, for example, with this build, I feel like this is a good combination for you to be able to use. Where are you? They all Hunter Bone, you know. But I don't have Arcane because it's not an Arcane build. But yeah, so this is a good weapon. The combination of the R1, R1, L1 transformation into the other weapon I like, because you slash down somebody, so you can be like R1, 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 slash down. And as far as, you know, going back, this is good too. So you go back to one swipe down as well. So that's what you do with those. This is actually not one of my favorite weapons. I miss using it. I feel like it's like if you guys have played any Soul games, this is a fucking S-stock. So it's a S-stock with a fucking revolver on it. Come on. If you guys have played Soul games, that is the dream. Anyways, the S-stock has extremely hard. It does pokes. You gotta be careful because this poke you can miss and be open for hits. However, it compensates with that with a swipe on the second R1. So also keep in mind though, that swipe is not very long. It's a hitbox maybe of like, look, swipe, and the other swipe is not too much of a hitbox in front of it, but it's giving you a swipe just in case, you know. You can do the fully charge versus a fully poke. Basically you want to R1, R1, switch weapons and shoot, and that's how you do that. So you do R1, R1, shoot the motherfucker, grab him, do visceral, take all his life. Good weapon. Not extremely good with bigger and stronger beast, I guess, because you're open for so long. But it's a weapon where you want to be dodging much, poking, and moving out of the way. It's a great weapon, Cane Heart's weapon that I like. Now, the Chikage. I know a lot of people are fond of this weapon, and for some reason they're super wet about it. I don't really like this weapon or care for it. I actually kind of regret using my resources to level it up. It's a good, cool looking weapon just because it's a katana, so you feel very, you're very samurai Japanese theme with this, right? But the only problem with this is that it takes so much energy to swipe. It's just taking so much of my stamina just to do R1s, and they don't stagger. So I mean, I don't think it's the greatest, just because you gotta dodge so much just to get a swipe in, and the swipe doesn't stagger, so you might get a hit in between that. And then if you choose to do the optimum mode, which is two-hand L1, now that motherfucker's taking my life away. And that might seem like much, but when somebody's hitting you in between every combo, this is very inconvenient. Because now you gotta back up and try to fucking heal, and this guy's gonna be shooting at you and trying to hunt you down. So it's okay, you know, it's doable, but I personally don't like it, so I'm just being frank of my opinion with each one of these weapons, you know, so that's just me. Other people might enjoy it, that's just not something that I do enjoy. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these weapons back because I'm not currently using them. They're not really any main on my focus, so Fuck Cleaver I just got from going NG because I was like, well, why not, you know? Take that, you know? So, yeah, let's take off that Chikage too because there's no need for that. It's not, yeah, you know, I can say that I hate the Chikage just because I feel like I'm not getting worth you taking my life away and putting me in a position where I am just vulnerable to die right away. I don't like that. Well, anyways, folks, so thank you for watching my video. That's my Bloodstained Dex build. just so I can use Bloodstitch Index weapons and bolts that are Bloodstitch Index weapons. Getting the model stat on my revolver too is a very convenient thing because my decks also have Bloodstitch, so like I'm not riposting or hurting anybody with my pistol, which with this I am. So I feel like I optimized my build, and I'm going into just so I can level up another couple weapons. I'm not exactly sure what they will be as far as two of them having blood clots, but you will see later on. So thank you, folks. Hopefully everybody has a great fucking evening. Bye now.